All right. And we also want to get into some legal topics as well with Mark Stiles, Stiles Law and his great team. And you were mentioning something came up recently on the Dr. Joe show. You had one of your great team members in talking about probate. And this is a question here about, well, if I have a will, I mean, probate, again, is that word we all don't necessarily know. What does it all mean? But if I have a will, can I avoid probate? Because I've heard probate is bad.
You know, it has to be the number one question that we get in our estate planning team, with our estate planning team, is probate. Like, what is this mystical thing? We've done a few videos on the YouTube channel about it. We've talked about the horror stories of Prince and Aretha Franklin and all of those things. And it's like, well, I did a will. Why am I still going to probate court? You said if I did an estate plan, I could avoid probate and this mystical environment that causes stress, anxiety, and cost. Well, what was wonderful about the conversation that Dr. Joe had with Ben on the Dr. Joe show a few weeks ago, which I think you could find on the website here at WATD. You can absolutely find it online with the Dr. Joe show. And we actually repurposed it. We were so proud of it. We repurposed it on my podcast, Elements of Styles, where Dr. Joe really took the simplification route. Right? So a lot of times we're talking about things, we're talking about them fast. Sometimes we're using acronyms. Sometimes we're using words that we assume people know and understand and are familiar with because we're in it every day, right? But Dr. Joe went back and simply said, what is an estate? Right? And so I encourage people to check that out and find that. But to answer the question, Ben answers it during that podcast and says, you know, a will cause folks to have to file with probate court because it means that items, part of their estate, their assets, things that they're passing along charitably or what have you, even if you wrote it down in a will, it's still in your name. So the court has to step in and transfer it out of your name into where you wanted it to go. So the court has to be involved. And when the court is involved, that means it's public. That means there's notices that are sent out and somebody may decide to object to it because for opportunistic reasons. Where trust planning is how you avoid probate court. Because what you do is you actually are putting things from your name into a bucket. You're putting them into a trust, and that continues to live on after you leave this earthly body, right? So the trust contract, if you will, lives on, and that's really the only true way to avoid this probate court. But I would encourage people to check out that podcast. It's Audible. It's found on anywhere you could find podcasts for both the Dr. Joe show and for Elements of Styles. Or go to the YouTube channel because we've done plenty of videos on this, but it's trust planning that is the only way to avoid the probate court.
All right, Mark Stiles, Stiles Law, Route 139 in Marshfield, stiles-law.com to get in touch through the website. And Mark, give out your phone number.
781-319-1900, 781-319-1900. And I want to remind folks, if they've got folks that are active duty, we are looking to ship out that candy as soon as humanly possible. So please give us a call and let us know where those nieces, nephews, grandkids, brothers, sisters, parents, whomever, where are they? Let us know and we'll ship that candy out.
Mark Stiles, Stiles Law, Route 139 in Marshfield. This is Feel Good Friday, every Friday right after the news at 9 on WATD. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Wolfie.
Thank you, Wolfie.
Have a great week, everybody.
Bye-bye.